So you're in your 20s or 30s. You want to make more money. You don't want to mess it up. You want to create a different kind of lifestyle than everybody else.
So this is pasta with lobster in it.
So how do you do it? Well, here's some of the biggest money mistakes you can make in your 20s and 30s and how to overcome them. Let's get right into it. So mistake number one is investing more in status, putting more money into status than you do into education. You see this all the time, especially with people just out of college or kind of early in their careers, is they want to go buy the car, they want to go buy the house, they want to make sure they're keeping up with their friend group. Status is a really big deal, especially in American culture. It's one of those things that can either set you back decades at a time or can really help you get yourself ahead. And one of the things that I did early on in my career was I did not spend money on a lot of stuff. I lived really cheap, and what that allows you to do is really be able to invest more in your education, which is kind of the other end of this. When I mean invest in your education, I mean investing in your skills to be able to produce more income. And this is something that people generally don't think about coming out of high school or coming out of college, is actually investing in their skill set. They figure, hey, I went to college, so I have everything I need, right? And what most people end up finding out in their 20s and 30s is the skills that they learned in college were not enough to create a substantial amount of income because they weren't really income-based skills. For most people that are in their 20s and 30s trying to improve and trying to create more financial freedom, if they just stopped spending so much stuff on status and instead took a portion of those dollars and invested in their income producing skills, they could get so much further ahead than all of their peers. Think about it, like picture this scenario. Rather than, let's say it's just, an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a year. Most people can work on really building that up if you think about all the other crap that you're spending money on, right? What if you just took an extra $1,000, $2,000 a year during your first 5 years out of college and you invested those dollars into some kind of income producing skill? What do you think the odds are that over the next 5 years you learned how to make far more money than your peers that didn't do that? And that's really how you can set yourself ahead. But most people make the mistake of not doing this. They invest in status and then they find out down the road that, oops, I needed more skills to increase my income, and now you put yourself in a hole. Mistake number two is actually a little bit controversial, especially with my background as a certified financial planner. But mistake number two is saving money to invest and not saving money to earn. This sounds kind of like the same thing, but let me break it down for you. So what most people do is they save money to invest, and they do that basically their entire careers, right? They're just saving money to invest. And what that looks like is, hey, we take a portion of our paycheck and we stick it into our 401k or 403b. We stick it into an IRA. We go buy some crypto because we want to hit it big with this little bit of money. We do that whole thing, right? What they don't do is invest in the skills that we talked about in mistake number one. What if you invested in, how to close more deals over the phone? What if you invested in becoming a better trader? What if you invested in how to run an online business or how to do affiliate marketing or how to run ads? All this kind of stuff that can substantially increase your income. Which one, especially if you're doing that early in your career, do you think is going to have a higher return? The one where you're dumping money into your 401k $100 at a time, or the one that you're investing in a skill that could teach you how to make an extra $1,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month? Which one do you think will have a higher return if you do that consistently over the next few years? It's probably going to be investing in the skill to earn, right? But most people don't do this. They're like, oh no, I don't want to miss out on retirement 40 years down the road. So I'm going to dump this $100 into my 401k and just kind of ignore this other piece of it. The rate of return on your ability to produce income is going to far outpace what you can do with that $100 a month in the S&P 500. And this is coming from a former certified financial planner, but just run the math on it, guys. Run $100 a month into the S&P 500 at a 10% rate of return over the next 30 years compared to something that can earn you even an extra $1,000 a month, which isn't hard to do in the online space over the next 30 years. I bet you the $1,000 a month skill is going to outpace that 10% rate of return over a 30-year time period. Think about it in a different light. I'm not saying don't invest at all in stocks or 401ks or retirement accounts, but think about it as a portion of your investment portfolio. Earning investments over here, I have your kind of traditional investments over here. And early on in your career, in my opinion, it makes more sense to invest in those earning investments first, or at least a higher portion. That brings me to step 3, or the third mistake that I see people make a lot. That is randomizing their investments rather than having a structured approach to it. Now, I mentioned in mistake 2 that most people just don't invest in the earning side at all. They only invest in kind of the traditional base. The easiest way to create a balance there is just structuring it. So let's say you want to save an extra $1,000 a month earlier in your career. You're dedicated, you're not spending money on status, you're committed to making this method work. Well, how can we actually do that in an easy way? Structure how you're going to do it. Literally break it down in your budget. Say, hey, I'm going to take $250 a month, and that's what's going to go into my investment portfolio, my stocks, my crypto, real estate, whatever you want to invest in on that side of things. And I'm going to take $750 a month and invest it in my income skills, my earning potential. And those numbers don't need to be exactly that. It's going to be different for each individual person. But if you think about it in that terms, it's going to be way easier for you to keep track of where your dollars are going and how you're making progress with each one of those investments. So literally break it down into a budget form. You kind of know what you're spending on housing and your car and all that stuff. Do the same thing with your investments. And this is a mistake that most people don't make. They don't even really think about it in that terms. They just want to sit at it and forget it and put no thought into it at all. And that's okay, but it's not going to get you very far when it comes to investing in yourself. So break it down onto each individual level. What are you investing in your normal investment portfolio? What are you investing in your skills? And know what that number is on a month-to-month basis. Mistake number 4, spending time with people that don't have big financial goals. And I know this is a little bit controversial, and I agree it's important that you have friends that you're just close with and they're just good friends, right? But there's also certain people in your life that probably don't have a place there for you anymore. It could be an old high school friend, it could be an old college friend, you know, the one that I'm talking about that just wants to go out and drink every weekend, that's not ambitious, has no financial goals, doesn't care about money at all. You are going to become who you spend the most time with. And I know that's a cliche and you've probably heard it a lot, but if you spend time with more successful people, you will create more success by extension. I can tell you that with 100% certainty. So an example of this, when I started my online business, I didn't really know what to expect. For me, my dream was like, oh gosh, if I could do like 25K a month online, that would be crazy to me coming from my background and where I came from originally, where I wasn't making anywhere near that much from business. And then I started hanging out with people. I joined coaching programs where there were people teaching people fitness online that were doing 100K plus a month. Totally changed my mindset in terms of what was possible, and spending more time with people like that helped accelerate the process of me reaching my own financial goals. So what it really comes down to is spend time with people that have similar financial goals as you. You spend more time with people like that, or people that are ahead of you, then you're gonna make progress a heck of a lot faster. And then mistake number 5 is one that I can almost guarantee you see in every household because it's so ingrained in our culture, and that is not making money a priority. Growing up in my household, and maybe you had similar experience as well, you didn't really talk about money. It was never a conversation at the dinner table. It was never something that was discussed with you. The only time you really felt the money topic come up was when you were trying to plan a vacation and maybe everyone was a little bit stressed about how much it was gonna cost, or we're not gonna go eat out tonight because money. But that's about as far as the money conversation went in my household. People didn't want to talk about it, and people still don't want to talk about it. They feel kind of icky talking about money. The problem is money is kind of what you need to create that lifestyle that you're talking about wanting. And if you don't talk about it, you don't make it a priority, it's not going to be a big factor in your life. And things in your life that actually take off and do well are the things that you're going to make priorities. It's like anything else. If you commit to going to the gym, you commit to your fitness, you're probably gonna end up being healthier because you made it a priority. If you commit to learning more about money, talking about money, you're probably gonna do well in that area of your life as well because you made it a priority. But people don't do this, they don't wanna talk about it. And you can see how all these things come together. Okay, we've made money a priority, and that doesn't make you a bad person. Money's kind of just an amplifier, right? If you're already a bad person, it's probably gonna make you worse. If you're already a good person, it can make you a lot better. You can have a lot of great impact by having more money. money. You can help a lot of people. But we've made it a priority. We've surrounded ourselves with other people that have made it a priority. We've structured our investment plan so we're investing in our long-term potential, but also investing in our earning potential now. We're focusing on those earning potential skills rather than status. You start combining all these things together, especially early in your career, you may find a period at the beginning where you're kind of lagging behind your peers, but I bet a decade by now you've just blown past them. And that's ultimately what you want, right? You want to create the lifestyle that you desire, and you want it as soon as possible. This is how you do it, by avoiding these mistakes. Guys, if you like content like this, be sure to like, subscribe, share this channel, and let me know what you want to learn about next. Drop it in the comments, and we'll shoot it for you.